not here. I'm nowhere up there. If you come with me now, you'll be my everything. You'll be my everything.
This is who we are, the Longwave Music Podcast. My name's Colin Sheehan. I'm here with Clare O'Riordan, a singer-songwriter from Cork. Hi Clare, how are you? Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. I'm great, thanks.
Good. So how have you been getting on in general during the lockdown? How's the music been going?
So for me, it's been a great creative period. I actually hadn't written songs, and I only wrote 2 songs over 2 years. And then once the lockdown started, I actually started to write a lot of songs. So, obviously it was a sad time for everybody, but it was also, for me personally, I had the joy of creating music, and I wrote about over 25 songs in the last few weeks. So I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Whoa, that's great. Yeah, Jesus, 25 songs is a lot. And so, of course, your song "Take My Hand" was featured on the compilation album "This Is Who We Are: Longwave Music Volume 1." But what's your songwriting process in general? Maybe for the song that was on the album, but your songs in general. How do you approach your songwriting?
Yeah, that's a great question. I suppose I always see it now. I've learned over a long period of time how to fill the creative well. I suppose initially songwriting for me was this kind of a mysterious thing. I started writing when I was about 25, and I went through a very creative phase, and for a few months, and then it disappeared, and I didn't write again for another few years. But now I understand the process, and I just basically I fill the creative well by reading poetry, listening to loads of music, intense emotional experiences all seem to draw songs out of me. So yeah.
Okay, and what poetry do you like reading?
I really enjoy Yeats and Patrick Kavanagh, and Oscar Wilde. Recently, I was reading a lot of Oscar Wilde. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, his stuff will have you on the floor laughing, Oscar Wilde. But yeah, but
Yeah.
also very very emotional and touching as well.
Exactly.
But in terms of artists, who would have been some of your influences growing up, and what kind of music do you listen to now?
So I suppose the people who have been most important to me really would be, initially when I started songwriting, would be Nina Simone and Van Morrison. I think they actually stirred the songwriting in me, because I didn't realize I had that talent or ability until I was about 25. And recently I've been listening to a lot of Aretha Franklin, and I actually feel it kind of has influenced the way I'm singing right now. So and there's so many artists really. I loved Amy Winehouse as well when she was with us,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, Amy Winehouse is her music in particular. Her lyrics are very very hard hitting, and I find that your lyrics and obviously your voice is very soulful and even operatic at times. How important are the lyrics for you in your songs?
Oh, they're everything, actually. Yeah, like when I first started songwriting, it was just lyrics would come to me first, and then I figured out the melody afterwards. But now when I'm writing a song, the lyric and the melody come to me at the same time. But I still feel the lyric drives the melody for me. And the deeper the song is to me, like the more emotional it is, the better like the lyric will be, and the melody, I suppose.
Okay, so kind of the deeper the emotional place, the kind of the better melodies that come out of you as well.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, like sometimes when I write a song, like I have a song on the streets, and it took me a while. It's one of those, I would call it a slow song, because it was over a period of about 5 years from the starting point to the finishing point. And I feel I hadn't dug deep enough to get the whole song, you know. So the song has two parts to it, and the more I dug, the more experiences I had, then the rest of the song came. And for Take My Hand was came to me rather quickly, actually, but I suppose some songs do kind of come fully formed straight away. You know, they're kind of they can happen in one sitting, you know.
Yeah.
And then the song ones, yeah.
Yeah, of course. And so On the Streets is from your 2014 album Shelter. Is that correct?
It's actually no, it's 2019 Outside. Yeah.
2019. Okay, Outside.
Yeah.
And so, where did that song come from? Is it, of course, do you see it as kind of a political statement in terms of criticizing, or for that, what does that song mean for you?
So for me, it was just an intense emotional experience that was the driving force. I didn't set out to write a song about homelessness. I didn't. Okay. I saw a man on the streets, and he was an older guy, and he actually walked past me, and I went in and had a chat with my sister, and I was just talking about him and feeling for him. And then the start of the song came to me. The first half of the song came to me, and I definitely, I suppose, I definitely wouldn't see it as a political statement, but because I suppose I just think it's about awakening empathy, I suppose, within all of us. That's kind of, that would be the idea behind it, you know.
Of course, just,
yeah. You know,
collective responsibility.
Kind of, yeah.
And so it was interesting hearing, the difference between the albums as well. I felt that of course, the second one is kind of more hard hitting and kind of varied in terms of instrumentation and different types of songs. So how do you think your music has progressed, maybe between the two albums, for example? Was that intentional, or?
No, it's just for me, the songwriting process is a very natural process. It's I don't set out to, the music literally kind of comes to me in a style. I don't set out to say today I'm going to write a jazz song, you know. I literally get this kind of a feeling burning inside me, and I sit at the piano and I write it, and then I'm like, oh, that's a jazz song. It's kind of afterwards I kind of go, you know, that's what it is. So yeah, it's just a very natural process. Of course, what I'm listening to influences how I write, you know. So I'm at the moment I'm finding this. I'm going very I started listening to lots of Aretha Franklin, and I found she actually lifted my mood, and I started singing a little bit differently recently, and it's more gospel, more soul, and piano-based balladry seems to be what's happening right now. But I don't want to give too much away, of course.
We'll be looking forward to it. But yeah, like that, I found there was a couple of different styles. I really like the song Fox, which is maybe.
Oh yeah, Fox, the jazzy little one, yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice little.
That's
jazzy.
That's a funny one. I wrote that. That's about my first boyfriend when I was 14.
Oh wow.
So yeah, and it's like, you know, I thought I was like mad about this guy, and so yeah, he started seeing somebody else anyway. So that's where that song came from, and it was me looking back at that time, in a real playful way, you know, kind of thinking, you know, I suppose I was obsessed with a guy for about 4 years, and I suppose at that time, like 4 years is a really long time from 14 to 18, you know.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like an eternity in your life at that time.
Yeah.
Like 4 years like that now, but so that's me looking back as an adult having a laugh about the whole thing, you know. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, I think there was kind of a playful feel to it, and even the instrumentation, everything, it feels kind of natural and kind of fun. So yeah, I like that one.
I actually, and you know, and I had a moment in the studio at that time. I remember I was actually standing in the studio, and I said, "Geez, can I really sing jazz?" Right? I just went, I like, you know, I wasn't an experienced jazz singer, you know, and a phrase that I heard Nina Simone say came into my mind. Just as I was standing like at the microphone, ready to record, ready to sing, and it was, "Don't put nothing in it unless you feel it." So that's what that line just came to me just at that moment, and then I actually felt I kind of did a better delivery, you know, because of that phrase, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, jazz is definitely the most soulful music there is. I'm getting quite into it now at the moment, and I have a weird kind of obsession now with bossa nova music, and yeah, so it's a complete other road when you go down it, but it's great. As well,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about you worked with Jon Evans. How did that come about, and how was it?
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, amazing. So I was just really lucky that my sister lives in the States, and she lives in Cape Cod, and she told me about this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I got in contact with Jon Evans, sent him on tracks for my first album, and he said he'd love to work with me. And then I made I actually recorded the album in like over 3 different time periods, and I basically did a song in a day. So we got all the musicians together. There was a lot of I suppose a real organic feel to it, you know.
Yeah.
People played live. I did record some of the vocals afterwards again, but Sailor on the album, I played the piano and sang at the same time, and just added the strings later.
Okay.
But it was a great experience. He's a very, very nice guy, and made me feel very relaxed, you know, as well. So
okay,
good.
Cool. So you were over in Cape Cod for it?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. And how did that feel working over there? How was it to record over there? The atmosphere around, the people, did it feel a lot different to work in here?
Well, I suppose it's just there was a different approach for my second album. Like for my first album, all the musicians played separately, you know, and it was over like a 2.5 year period before I got all my album ready, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then with Jon, it was just literally a song a day, and it was very joyful, and very, very relaxed atmosphere. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you're saying that you've been writing a lot of songs. We'll be very interested to hear. So
yes.
What kind of styles are coming out of this? You mentioned Aretha Franklin. So how do you think maybe the atmosphere with COVID and everything, how do you think that's affected your music and the music that's going to come out?
Yeah, I did write a song about COVID, but I don't think it'll be on the next album, because I think I'm actually going to try and get a more of a maybe more marketable product, for one thing, to try and have a consistent sound. I'm going to go for more, you know, and I absolutely love gospel and soul, and or I should say gospel inspired, and soul and piano based balladry. So I think the new music, I'm thinking kind of like a little bit of MLA Sande kind of a sound,
Okay,
you know, that kind of way. Another song that I adore is, you know, Madonna, Like a Prayer.
Yeah, yeah.
Remember that song?
Oh,
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
So like real funk and gospel, you know, just amazing.
Certainly
so
marketable, that's for sure.
yes, but I love it. It's not. I'm not
Yeah.
selling out. It's just I would also
course.
like to have like I would like to have a more, I suppose, easy to listen to album. You know that it's, you know, that it is within a kind of one more consistent style. Yeah. As both my first and second album were kind of genre outlaws, and you know, so
Okay.
yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
So how would you describe your music, maybe to somebody who hasn't listened to it? You say it's if they were a genre.
I suppose I always start with I'm a soul singer. I think I've always sang kind of from a deep place, and then I just up to now it's been like, you know, there's quirky pop, I suppose you could say, and there's piano based balladry. There's been light funk. There's been folk rock, you know, and some jazz, yeah, and so. But I see the more consistent sound hopefully in the next album.
Okay. I was wanted to ask you as well about, so you have from what I could find, I found two videos. Well, there's maybe a couple more, but there's Home, which it's a very nice video displaying you and Cork and everything like that, and then Take My Hand. I was a little bit surprised by the video. I was wondering what were your thoughts going in, and where did that come from?
So yeah, the Home was like, I suppose I'm in Home. That video I do love that video.
Yeah.
And I suppose then Take My Hand it's very very different, all right, and that was made in Bangladesh, and
Okay.
it was, I suppose, I found this guy online who made videos he just struck me as being a real artist who made a video at a very affordable price.
Yeah.
But he's an incredible artist. That's very difficult to find. So it just, I suppose it made sense for me at the time. I love the video Take My Hand. I find it's very joyful and it's very thoughtful. So yeah, I might consider working with him again, because, you know, I was very happy with that.
Yeah, it's a great video.
And maybe
go on.
I might have try and get some like shots of me just performing the song mixed with a video that he can make, you know, something like that.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Yeah, I like both the videos as well. I think it's as well because I had seen the video Home beforehand, and I thought it was a very nice video, very nice shots of you playing as well, and nice shots of the city. And yeah, I just didn't expect what?
A company called Bold Puppy made that video. They're very good.
Okay, yeah. We'll give them an old plug. Bold Puppy. Yeah. So, and as well, the other one, I was trying to figure out what country it was. I was, I don't know. In my mind, I was thinking, I don't know if it's in Korea or somewhere in the countryside in China. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So, I was very happy with. I know I didn't kind of talk about that when I promoted the video. I just said I'll just put it out there, and people will be saying, surprise people by having a video made from Bangladesh, but just not talk about it, you know. So I just say nothing.
Sure. I mean, it's like the music. It doesn't need to be explained, you know. It's just, it is what it is, and that's it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
So if people are hoping to see you live, when could they expect to see you in the future? Have you?
Well, I suppose I haven't made any plans for that at the moment. I'm just hoping this thing will pass, you know, obviously, like everybody else, you know. So I suppose for me right now, I'm still consumed with this writing phase I'm going through, you know. So I have this line in one of my songs: "My compass is my art." So I suppose I'll know when that period of creativity is, when it starts to decline and leave me. I'll be looking closely at my songs and you know, kind of forming a plan then, you know. So I don't have a specific plan of performance at the moment, but I would love to as soon as possible. Yeah.
Okay. Well, no better time to be getting into the writing part of the music and stuff. Anyway, I guess we don't have too much choice at the moment either. So
yeah, that's it. You have to make the most of it, you know.
That's it. So other than that, what can we expect from you in the future? So we've got a new album, possibly 2, is it? In the future.
Yeah, I'm sure some of those songs will never make it to an album. You know, there'll be some that I do want to, before I record, I want to perform them all live to get the feel from the audience for what is working well, you know, as well, what songs are strong. You know, just because I love a song doesn't mean the listener's going to love it, you know. So I have to, yeah. I just need a bit more time to sit with it and to let it evolve, and I suppose the other thing for me as well that I'm working on at the moment is I'm actively listening to production myself in songs, which I used to do before.
Yeah.
I certainly was part of I certainly contributed a lot to the second album, but I want to be a lot more vocal about my sound that I want to go for. I want it to be, I want to nearly have a sample song for each song that I have written, to say, you know, I want my song to sound somewhat like this, you know what I mean? So so that I get that so basically I'm just researching. I'm really listening to the production in music, which I didn't do before.
Yeah, of course. I think it's a natural progression for all musicians to kind of, after a while, to want to have more of a hand in start to finish, and kind of try and of course it's great working with other musicians, but it does always turn out being something slightly different to what you would do. Not necessarily bad or good in another way, but yeah. Anyway, we're looking forward to the new music, and hopefully some live music as well soon enough. Maybe next summer we can look forward to that.
Yeah, the sooner the better.
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, thanks for joining me, Clare.
Much, Colin.
And it's been a pleasure, and sure, hopefully I'll chat to you soon. Looking forward to your music.
Thank you very much. Bye now.
Yeah. My life waiting for some great event. If you're ready for new beginnings, come with me, my friend. Oh, come.